At 0134 hours, the British flotilla was hit hard. In the area in front of the East Jetty, Rodier's crew and Haynes' assault team had been rescued by wind. Now, Rodier's launch goes under. 3 motor launches are burning in the area around the Old Mole, while 2 teams of Commandos advance through the Old Town. Near the old entrance, the Campbelltown burning is heading straight towards its target, the Southern Caisson. The success of the mission depends largely on the performance of the Commandos aboard the destroyer. The Campbelltown is about to meet its fate in the raid on St. Nazaire. Of the 17 motor launches and boats that began the mission, only 11 remain afloat, and 5 of these are burning. German soldiers and sailors have begun to organize in and around the city, including a group of soldiers at the Normandy Docks Southern Caisson. The West Jetty searchlight projects its beam on the avant port, where no British boats are located. The searchlight in Sector 4 looks for enemies in the city and around the U-boat camps. The searchlight in Sector 1 focuses its attention in the water immediately to its front. Fortunately, no British boats are here. The Old Mole searchlight illuminates its surrounding area, where the majority of the motorboats are found. The Campbelltown suffers some crew casualties and the loss of a gun. The destroyer is hit again, losing 2 more guns and more crew members. Fenton's motor launch, already ablaze, is forced to turn away, sustaining considerable casualties to its crew and to Hooper's assault team, which also loses some of its ammunition. Bert's burning launch tries to evade enemy fire, but suffers serious losses to its crew and Woodcock's demolition team. The launch is now dead in the water. Falconar's launch, burning, evades and sustains some casualties to its crew. Ryder's command boat, already burning and slowed down, conducts evasive maneuvers, but will not be able to advance towards its landing zone for now. In the approaches to the port, Henderson's burning boat suffers the loss of a gun and crew casualties. Wallace's launch, largely unscathed by enemy fire, is forced now to turn away, sustaining some crew losses. Wynn's motorboat in front of the Old Mole is hit, losing a gun and taking some crew casualties. Henderson's burning boat, already hit, is hit once again. enemy fire wipes out the boat's remaining crew and causes some losses among Swain's demolition team. The boat is now dead in the water and sinking. Platt's boat in the Old Mole is hit, turning away while losing a gun and taking some loss to its crew. Ryder's boat and crew is hit and wiped out. The boat is now sinking. Henderson's boat, already dead in the water, manages somehow to avoid being hit. Wynn's motorboat, carrying crews and commandos from other boats, is hit, set on fire, with loss to some of its crew. Tilly's boat is hit. The hit wipes out its crew and most of Pennington's commandos. The boat also begins to sink. Henderson's boat loses a gun and the last of its crew members. The boat begins to sink. The men of Swain's demolition team, unless they are rescued in time, will also be lost. The British flotilla, heavily decimated, now concentrates its remaining fire on the searchlight on the Old Mole. The fire, however, is ineffective. German dockside defenses near the old entrance hit Tilly's sinking boat, wiping out what was left of Pennington's demolition team. Other German fire in this area, however, is ineffective. German dockside fire around the Old Mole also fails to cause any further loss on the flotilla. The Germans also failed to hit any of the two launches in front of the East Jetty. Wynn's motorboat is armed with special delayed action torpedoes. He approaches the old entrance's locked gates. He fires the torpedoes towards its target. Whether the torpedoes will destroy or damage the lock gates remains yet to be seen. The Campbelltown now makes her final run against the Normandy Docks' southern caisson. The destroyer crashes into the wall with German troops in close proximity. Tilly's boat sinks near the old entrance. Ryder's burning boat goes under in front of the East Jetty with what was left of Newman's assault team. In the approaches to the port, Henderson's launch finally sinks, with the loss of Swain's demolition team. Meanwhile, the Campbelltown's 6 commando teams are ready to get into the action. They debark from the destroyer and move into the area of the southern caisson, right next to a group of German soldiers. German soldiers and sailors begin to appear in and around the city, in the vicinity of the Normandy dock, approaching from the west parts of the city. the old entrance's lock gates, coming from the northern outskirts of the city and appearing on boats anchored in the St. Nazaire basin. Now, the Campbellton Commandos make a move. They advance to an open area next to the caisson to avoid being hit by enemy guns stationed on top of the pump house. Meanwhile, in the Old City, Walton and Birney's commandos start making their way towards the St. Nazaire Basin's swing bridge. With German troops close by. The German defenders, still stunned by the audacity of the attack, fail to move most of their troops in the direction of the attacking commandos. A strong group of German soldiers moves into the area of the swing bridge. More German troops approach from the area of the U-boat pens. In the area of the Normandy dock, Roderick's assault team fires at the Germans in the southern caisson, who suffer some casualties. Roy's assault team finally dispatches the remaining Germans defending the caisson. In the area around the swing bridge, Walton's commandos inflict minor losses on the defending Germans. The Germans at the swing bridge failed to inflict any casualties on Walton's demolition team. As time passes, German troops in the northern approaches to the city gather together to consolidate into a stronger force. The clock moves now to 01:46 hours. The searchlight on the west jetty illuminates the area immediately in front of it, where only Wallace's launch is located. The searchlight on the Old Mole also lights up the same area. The searchlight in the town illuminates its surroundings, while the searchlight near the Normandy dock searches in the water area directly in front of it. In a twist of fortune, none of the searchlights focus on the areas where the bulk of the British boats and the Campbelltown are located. Campbelltown is hit. Its crew suffers some losses. The destroyer is hit once again, with more crew casualties, and now only a minimal number of crew members remain able to continue the fight. In the area of the Old Mole, Fenton's boat is hit, with casualties to its crew and Hooper's assault team, which is now at half strength. Bert's boat, dead in the water, is hit, wiping out its crew and causing the boat to sink. Falconar's boat is hit, inflicting some casualties to its crew. Wallace's boat receives a pounding that decimates its crew and causes heavy loss among Bradley's demolition team. Fenton's motor launch and crew is hit, also losing a gun. Wallace's boat is hit once again, lighting itself on fire. Its crew was eliminated and Bradley's commandos are now reduced to a handful of men. Platt's boat, near the Old Mole, after landing its commandos, receives a direct hit that causes the boat to sink. Near the old entrance, Boyd's boat is slowed down by evading enemy fire. Wallace's boat, already sinking, is now trapped in the beam of one of the searchlights, and it loses another gun. Fenton's boat takes another hit. This time the boat's crew is completely lost, while Hooper's assault team is almost wiped out, and now the boat begins to sink. Platt's sinking boat is hit once again, with heavy loss to its crew. Boyd's boat, already evading, is nevertheless hit, with tremendous losses suffered by the crew. A brief lull in the enemy's fire allows the flotilla to attempt to concentrate its fire on one target. The dwindling flotilla fires at the searchlight on the Old Mole, but to no effect. In the area around the old entrance, Boyd's motor launch and its crew are hit as the boat turns away. The Campbelltown, down to a few crew members, is fired upon with no effect. Wynn's flaming boat evades enemy fire. In the area around the Old Mole, German dockside defensive fire is virtually ineffective. In front of the West Jetty, Wallace's burning and sinking boat is hit once again. It continues to receive enemy fire. It finally receives a hit that ignites the boat, exploding in a huge ball of fire, taking with it what remained of Bradley's demolition team. Of the 17 motorboats and launches that attacked the port, now only 7 remain afloat. Of these, 2 are sinking and 2 more are dead in the water. Wynn's burning boat, actively evading enemy fire, manages to sail to the area near the Old Mole. Meanwhile, Falconar's flaming motor launch finally arrives at the Old Mole to disembark the Commando assault team it is transporting. Fenton's boat goes under, with the remnants of Hooper's assault team. Platt's sinking boat near the Old Mole is lost. Bert's motor launch is also lost, as is Woodcock's demolition team. Falconar unloads Hodgson's assault team. Hodgson's team has the fortune of not having suffered any casualties so far. German soldiers continue to appear in and around the city. In the Normandy dock area, in the western part of the city, and in the northern area of St. Nazaire. Hodgson's assault team moves towards the St. Nazaire swing bridge, avoiding fire from the enemy gun emplacement near the Old Mole. Walton's and Birney's commandos make a dash for the swing bridge in an attempt to overwhelm the German defenders there. Meanwhile, in the Normandy dock area, Chance and Roy's commandos move across the southern caisson and into the pump house, where the Germans have 2 gun emplacements. Chance commandos are tasked with destroying this building. Smalley's demolition squad moves into the southern winding station, its main target. The remaining 3 commando teams move in the direction of the northern caisson to surprise the German defenders. Most of the German defenders in St. Nazaire still appeared to be shocked. Only one group of soldiers moves in the direction of the Commandos near the St. Nazaire basing swing bridge. At the swing bridge, Walton's team fires a devastating volley that wipes out the Germans guarding the bridge. At the pump house, Roy's men attack a gun emplacement using grenades. The attack, however, has no effect. Chan's men fire at the second gun position in the pump house and put it out of action. Smalley's demolition team fires at a group of Germans near their position, but fails to cause any casualties. Near the northern Caisson, Roderick's and Brett's teams dispatch a group of German soldiers. Purdon's men, however, failed to eliminate a group of German troops approaching from the north part of the city. Smalley's squad is fired upon by a group of sailors to no effect. At the pump house, one of the guns fires at Roy's men, with no damage caused. Another group of sailors fires at Roy's squad. Their fire is ineffective. Near the northern Caisson, a group of German infantry fires away, with no harm inflicted on the group of commandos there. To maximize the damage that the Campbelltown can cause on the Caisson, the remaining crew aboard the destroyer decides to detonate scuttling charges in the stern section of the ship. With more of the ship now in contact with the Caisson, more damage could be caused to it during the main explosion. Walton's squad successfully prepares and sets up demolition charges on the swing bridge. Chan's men set up explosive charges to blow up the pump house. Finally, Smalley's men also set their charges at the southern winding station. German troops gather together to consolidate into a stronger force. Demolition charges have been successfully set on 4 targets. The Campbelltown's charges have also been set. Whether they successfully detonate and destroy the southern Caisson is yet to be seen. It is now 01:52 hours. Will the Commandos hold their ground and be able to detonate these charges? Stay tuned to the next episode of Raid on St. Nazaire.